Hello once again, everybody. Welcome back to another active aggression replay. This is one of my first games in about a week now. I've been playing Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain, quite significantly. I absolutely adore that game. If you like tactical stealth action stuff, or just stealth infiltration type games, Metal Gear Solid, even if you're not familiar with the franchise, they execute it amazingly. But anyways, that's not what this game's about. So this is my first game, really, back online anyways. I played a couple skirmishes with AI, but I have not played on this map. This was my first time playing on this map, and felt a little rusty. You know, that feeling when you don't play a game for like a week and come back to it, and even though you know what you're doing, you still have this feeling deep down like, maybe there's something new happening in the game that I don't know about. Anyways, I tried to go for an economic build, but I ended up kind of doing a mixed economic military build and rushing for some striker stuff. You know, classic US stuff. But anyways, this map is pretty nice. I like it. Each player kind of starts up on a hill, kind of like the walk through the Valley of Death. Only, I like this map much better because it's about the same width. Like, even though the map looks huge, like, you can only go, like, this far-ish, I think, to each side. The border is somewhere in this area. So, it's about as wide as Walk Through Valley of Death, maybe even just a little bit wider. But it's much longer. So, it's small and contained, so it's kind of hard for, like, ground flank attacks to come at you. They kind of have to come at you head on or use helicopters to get behind you. So it's a little easier from a defensive standpoint to feel comfortable on this map, and you don't have to worry about extreme rushes because it is a pretty long way down this highway down the center. So I like it. It's shaping up to be one of my favorites, but again, I haven't even played some of the other 1v1 maps yet, so that could change as well. Here comes Colonel Kill, trying to Colonel Kill me, and he failed. Dropping down the logistics center, get them get ready for those upgrades, because I'm going to be jumping to DEFCON 2 as fast as possible. I've got a second oil up already and a second aluminum, and yeah, I'm already feeling pretty good about it. And here we go, Colonel Kill with a rush attack. Right out the gate, coming at me with some infantry, including a stinger. I'm not quite sure why he brought the stinger, but he did. And I also think that he was expecting to be able to capture this refinery, as he did bring marines and such. So he might have been in it from the beta. He might not have known that the upgrade for capturing structures was changed. Otherwise, he would have been able to capture that, and that actually would have not been good for me at all. But as it would happen, well, that's not the one. There it is. So as it would happen, I drop a bunker, because that's what you do as the US when you're building economically. Someone comes at you, bunker time. I also was deploying Humvees though, because I had a feeling that he was going to probably use more medevacs than Humvees, or not Humvees, more medevacs than infantry, and Humvees are actually somewhat decent against that, because the Humvees will easily shoot down the medevacs, and unless you micromanage the javelins, they will usually all target a single Humvee, and then the rest of the Humvees gun down the infantry and suppress them. I'm not saying that it's like game over, build Humvees when you see infantry. Don't do that. I just built them for this particular situation because I definitely felt like they could help out, and indeed they worked. Shooting down that helicopter and killing the infantry that came out of them. Kind of, well, they at least made up for their cost, anyways. Now I'm going to use them, go basically scout. But little did I know I was going to get better than a scout. I came across a refinery. So in this situation, I didn't want to just like throw tow launchers onto all of them, because that would have made, oh, that's more money. That's more cost. I did upgrade one of them, I believe. But then basically I just want to cut his supply line off. That's all I want to do. And by positioning on the hill, I have an advantage when it comes to combat, because any units that try to come up here are going to be able to be shot before they can see my units first. I don't think I end up getting that one. Nope. But he does sell his refinery, which I wasn't quite sure why. I mean, he does get a couple Humvees in the process, but I mean, he loses an entire refinery. Which is kind of, you know, it's good for me. He's got a big old stockpile of oil going over here. Going for his air control center power plant. Meanwhile, back at my home here. Still have I deployed strikers at all yet? No, still no strikers. I think I just hit, yep, I think I just hit DEFCON 2. And I was gonna yank that Tusk 1 upgrade and get those economic upgrades going. Oh, never mind. I lied. Here we are. See, look, I've already got Tusk, because there they go. Tusk 1 strikers. About to have 6 of them. And it's just shy of the 10-minute mark. It's pretty decent, especially against someone who may not be prepared for it. Which I don't think Colonel Kill will be. My Humvee cliff guard. I don't know what you want to call it. You know, he's got his banks. He's even got this center bank, which I am just now starting to capture my central bank. But I definitely have a lot more of the on-map resource positions secured. And once the economic upgrades roll out, which they might have already, I probably missed it here. I'm getting my endless guidance for my javelins. I'm getting ready to just push in with my Tusk ones, since I haven't seen much, and I was able to deny him this refinery with some Humvees. Wow, that striker just took off lightning fast. And here we go. This is basically, to visualize it, like going for the jugular. This handful of strikers I didn't think would completely end it, but I knew that I would be able to beat up his economy enough that I could have more strikers being deployed. I had them rallying across the map, pretty much upgrading them to Tusk 1 as soon as possible, and then rolling them in the base. Keep piling the strikers on. It does drop out these F-35 Lightnings, though, which is rather problematic. That was one of the big threats to this army, because I didn't have blazers, I didn't have anti-air, nothing of the like, which is why I rushed into the base like this, because I knew if I couldn't stop these aircraft, that they would likely finish off my strikers. Because it was either that or start getting blazers, which getting blazers wouldn't have been hard, but if I can just take out the air control center, since I already have the ground dominance, he doesn't have any heavy ground forces out, that will basically secure me the win. And that was my thinking. And these Tusk 1 strikers are no joke against the non-upgraded javelins, too. Striker just shrugs it off. Ah, 'tis but a scratch. At this point, I was busy not only microing, but I was also managing more stuff back here at the base, dropping down another factory because I had enough resources to do so. So I was not paying attention to the fact that my guys were having to deal with this logistics center. I was wondering why it was taking so long to take out the factory, and then I realized, oh yeah, logistics center, repairs structures, that's a thing. So his lightnings are down. He's got a couple of javelins out, but that's not going to be enough. Not going to be enough. Start deploying some lightnings of my own, and there's a surrender. Good old U.S. economy. U.S. economy at its finest, and that is why everybody was upset about U.S. economy buffs, because it didn't need a buff. Since it got reverted, they're still just as strong. Anyways, thank you all for watching. My name is Amadeus, and I will see you next time.